We're about to cover a story regarding an incident that happened on Saturday. Something really, really important that I think people need to hear. Kelly, you were the first person that got wind of this, so you want to give us an idea of what happened?
So right now we're in Barrie, and we're at Patty Leigh's house. And after the march at Dundas Square on Saturday, Skylar, one of our longtime fans and marchers, was on his way home on Yorkdale subway, and he was being harassed for not wearing a mask. As he exited the subway and minding his own business, he was followed, and then he was brutally attacked. He was hit with something metal on the back of his head. He ended up with cracked ribs. His neck was in a neck brace. He has a gash on his forehead and multiple cuts and bruises. And the worst part about this is not only was he attacked for not wearing a mask, he also suffers from autism and a multitude of other disabilities. So he's not even the type of person that is capable of fending for himself. Nobody should have to ever deal with something like this. It's very disheartening. And so we're here. We're going to interview him, and I'm going to let Eli do the interview because I'm very emotional about it. And if there's anybody out there afterwards that remembers watching this incident take place on Saturday, sometime between the time of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., we hope that you would come forward, because violence is disgusting no matter what the case may be. But I mean, this is really bad. Yeah.
Guys, if you're in the Toronto area, then please get in touch with us if you have anything that you'd like to report that the mainstream media is just not going to be interested in. So we'll be your voice, and we'll help to get your story out there.
I absolutely blame the mainstream media for this, and I blame the Premier for this. I mean, from calling people who don't wear masks yahoos to you're encouraging and inciting violence on innocent people with your hatred and your hateful comments and your hateful rhetoric, and it is absolutely disgusting. And it needs to stop, and it's going to stop. And you know, we're going to hold the mainstream media and the Premier accountable for this. And that smell, the subway smell. Do you remember the color of anybody's coat?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
So I'm here with Patty Leigh, and we're just going to go through what happened according to Patty this past Saturday at the Freedom Rally at Yonge and Dundas. Yeah. Okay, so Patty, just give us an idea of what happened.
All right, so we were at the rally having a great time, just dancing and fooling around. And at the end, we were walking, and Skylar decided to go another way to catch his bus home. And I just left. I just got to Barrie, so it's about an hour drive. And I got frantic messages from Skylar and photos that he was in the hospital. So I called my fiance, and at about 1 a.m. we were on our way down to Toronto to pick Skylar up from the hospital.
Was he able to tell you what happened? What happened when you got to the hospital?
He didn't say too much. He said a few things that he could remember about the jumping and the going black, and she was just in a lot of pains and pretty drugged up at that point.
Right. Okay. So essentially he had just gotten assaulted by someone and went to the hospital, and then that's when you met up with him, right? Yeah. Okay. After you met up with him at the hospital, what happened then? Did you guys head home together, or what happened?
Yeah, so I brought him to my house.
Okay.
I don't know too much what happened after there, because I passed out in the car and woke up in my bed.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And how did he look? I mean, was he badly bruised? Was he damaged? What were the extent of the injuries?
Yeah, his forehead had a good slicing it. His back had a few slices, pretty bruised up the back and on the hands from protecting his face.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're also going to get Skylar's take on what happened, what he remembered. But yeah, unless there's anything else that you can give us, just an account of the day. Any other details that you'd like people to know?
Not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of your head? Okay, great. So what we'll do is we'll go and interview Skylar as well, so you guys can get an understanding of what happened from his perspective. Patty, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm here with Skylar, and Skylar's going to give us his account of what happened on Saturday. First of all, how are you feeling?
Still pretty much painful.
Pretty painful, huh? Yeah. So Patty was telling us that, she got the call that you were in the hospital. You guys had parted your ways. And then all of a sudden, she gets the call that you're in critical condition at the hospital. So what, from the time that you guys parted ways on Saturday, what do you remember?
It was nice afternoon, and I was just going down to the subway, and then somebody, not to be like racist or anything, but
no,
Chinese guy was pretty much harassing me and yelling at me not wearing a mask, and it was then I was trying to move over a little bit, because you know how I don't like people that close to me because of who I am, and I was getting off. Once I got to Yorkdale, I was getting off the subway, and he started following me. And then,
sorry. So yeah, this was on the subway that this Chinese guy was. Okay.
And then once I got to my stop, I was getting off, and I was going up the stairwell to go to the doors to go outside, and all I really felt was something metal and flat hitting me in the back of the head.
Ooh.
And then after that, it was pretty much just a blur.
Right.
And I woke up in the hospital.
And then you woke up in the hospital. First of all, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, nobody wants to go through an experience like that. You woke up in the hospital, and now you got hit in the head, but if I'm not mistaken, there are other injuries. You've sustained some other injuries on your body. What are the nature of these injuries? What else happened to you?
Well, because after I got hit in the head and pretty much blacked out, I don't remember and what else could have happened.
Right. But sure enough, these things, the evidence of other trauma is there. Do you think that could have been because you fell in a certain way after being hit? Could it have been this person maybe abusing you after?
Well, there could have been many different reasons why I had all the injuries, but once you get hit back in the head and you get pretty much knocked out, you don't really remember much.
Yeah. Before you blacked out, what did this guy say to you exactly? So you were unmasked, if I'm not mistaken, and he was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Okay. And this must have incited him into this type of...
I guess maybe I agitated him or something.
Right.
I wasn't listening to him not putting a mask on.
Right.
I guess he just had enough and hit me in the back of the head with something.
Yeah. So because you weren't wearing your mask, that was enough to instigate him into abusing you.
Somebody to abuse me.
Yeah.
For not wearing a mask.
Right. It's amazing to me that in 2020, this whole divisive climate that has been set up in the culture it's created this rift almost between people that are refusing to wear masks and people that are complying with the mask mandates. And unfortunately, the science is very, very clear on this. The masks don't work. We've even had the health units that are putting forth these mandates admit themselves that masks are more of a symbolic gesture than anything. Than any sort of actual safeguard against a virus, or bacteria or whatever. It's very frustrating for me to hear that this type of belligerence, is engendered in the population, and it's enough for people to attack other people like you who are just exercising their right to not wear a mask.
Also, it's kind of also difficult that he also did this to somebody that has disabilities too.
Right. Yeah. Did you want to tell us about that? Tell us about some of the disability that you're going through.
The disabilities I have scoliosis, cerebral palsy, autism. I have ADHD. I have like short-term memory loss, so that didn't really help at all when they were trying to ask me what happened.
Right.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Did they give you any idea of how long it would take before you're back on your feet, feeling well?
They said it only takes a couple of days once I like lay down and like rest a lot, just to make sure that I'm not like putting stress on the muscles.
Right. Did they tell you that you were concussed at all?
Yeah, they said that I had a pretty bad concussion when I got hit in the back of the head.
Right. Okay.
Because they did x-rays and everything, and they found that I had a concussion.
Right. I'm so sorry you're having to deal with this. Yeah, so guys, I mean, I don't want to press you too much. I'd like you just to kind of relax and rest. But this is evidence of the type of antipathy between groups that is being incited by the policymakers, and they're using every single trick in the book against us. They're dividing us along as many different lines and separating us into as many different camps as possible, so that everyone's belligerent and everyone's confused and no one's identifying the actual problem, okay, the actual goblin in the room. And we're gonna have to start really rectifying this and coming online so that this stuff does not ever happen again. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Can you imagine? People are abusing other people just because they're not wearing masks.
It's a heinous act. It's a vicious crime on someone just for not complying with the government.
Yeah.
Just because someone's not showing the same fear that someone else is possessing. It's ridiculous. And I'm still in shock of what I've heard and seen.
I know. And it's just, it's so sad because, I mean, this is obviously someone who couldn't defend themselves as readily as someone else might be able to. And those are the people that these jerks, they pick on.
This is just one story. Who knows how many other stories there are, but hopefully this one can shed some more light on the situation, what's happening, that this mask mandate is causing a lot more stress and harm, especially to the autistic community and other disabilities involved too.
Yeah. Hopefully we get this story out and it helps to shed some light on, this stupid state of affairs that, it's being subjected on us. Yeah. Yeah, they're both autistic, yeah.
Yeah. Like, sometimes like she was after the march, not this one. Yeah. The one the weekend before, she was like flying like an airplane in the parking lot and stuff. And
right.
I had to like settle her down.
Yeah.
But
well, no, I mean, I'm glad we came and got their story, because
yeah, so he went right out.
So silly. Yeah.
He went right out, yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I tried to.
I wonder what happened. I mean, he's got all those other, Nico, you got that footage.
He put him upside the head. He might have grabbed something like something. Maybe he was just a shit disturber and had something on him. Yeah. Because he said he felt metal, right?
Right.
So, but you see how that cognitive recall works?
Yes. Yeah.
At first, I'm like, do you remember if it was wood or metal? He's like, I couldn't. And then after it came,
then it started
so he'll get some more details.
Right.